Here's the demonstration on how to do the first part of the setup for the external channels, customer support in Microsoft Teams. First, make sure you have an external channel configured correctly. Notice the icon here that is provided by Microsoft. Next, let's talk about how we get this set of buttons available for your end users and customers to use to create cases and access different items within your support site or schedule calendar events. So first, to make sure that you have everything configured correctly to do this piece, make sure you have Centro added correctly to the channel. In addition to adding it correctly to the channel, you also need to go to the Manage Channel, to the App Setup, and add it here, and make sure that it says Added to the Channel, yes. Next, in the Centro App Home, you need to configure your forms to create cases, or whatever object you'd like them to create. So in the Central Home tab, if you go to Central Forms, there's a more detailed video on this in the future. If we just take a look at our Create Case, General, and we can take a look at this form. So make sure you're connected as the default automation user because this ensures that non-Salesforce users can create cases. Here you can name the form and you can have a form label if necessary. Then you need to choose your Salesforce object, and this takes customer standard objects. Once completed, hit the lock sign. Then you need to choose your fields that you want to display. To add a field, select it from the list of your objects below. So I can just want to grab, let's just say uh, the status field. I hit the plus sign, and that field is then going to display in the displayed section of the field. I can then reorder these fields as needed. Now notice that some of these fields have merge tags or hard-coded items in them as necessary. We'll go over this in a second, but if you want the account to display based on what channel they're in, add this merge tag of linked account ID. Here, I'm going to automatically set the case origin as Teams because that's where this is coming from. Here I have the user ID of the person creating the case in Microsoft Teams. I'm putting that into the company field, which is a default field on the case object. And then of course I'm setting a couple of others. So the case region is a general request based on my use case and my button name. And then my swarm type, I'm just setting this as channel for my own flows down the road. Once you have this form built, you can then use it in a Salesforce Flow to post the buttons. Let's take a look at that flow now. So here I'm just on an auto launch flow, but this can be built in a lot of different ways to make sure you have it built through automation when an account is set as a customer or any other way that you want to have this built. Let's just take a look at the central flow element here. So again, mine is hard coded to this channel, but this can be dynamic. I have a nice welcome message here that I have put into the top of the text. And then I'm ignoring almost all of these different sections that I might be using. I might have it, and I'm going to focus on the custom button section. So here I've allowed my end users to create 3 different types of cases. Well, let's focus on the case that I created here. In this example, I've labeled the case with an emoji and a general case label. I've selected my central form that I just built based on the button that I'm creating. And here, I'm showing the central form, but I'm also publishing a platform event. And we'll get that into the platform event in part 2 because that's what's going to post it to the channel. I have a couple other buttons here. So the support site, and that's just a hard-coded URL associated to that button. And then I have a scheduled time, which is also a hard-coded URL to my Calendly. These other cases buttons go to different forms that I have built so I can have different default options if necessary or record types associated. Once I'm ready here, I just hit run and that will post it directly to the channel. The last piece I want to show is when you use that linked account ID, that is populated when you have linked those channels to this record here. So you can see here's my external channel that we've been demoing in this series. So here are all those channels. Here is the message and the different record blocks. So once you have your external channel set up, again, you can do this through automation, but manually, you go ahead and do the existing channel, find the channel in which you want to link, so the external channel, and then go ahead and link that conversation. Here, one thing to be careful of is you probably don't want to post the record details to that. So make sure you either turn that off in the design time settings or unselect the checkbox here. Click that link, and that means that merge tag of the linked account ID will now work. That's the first step to setting up external channel support using Centro and Microsoft Teams. Please reach out with any questions and look forward to the next video. Thanks.